check, 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 check. Friday evening, yeah. I'm just checking, you know. And we're live. Perfect. The volume is good. Perfect. I'm just gonna spam it, you know, across the board. Monthly closes, guys. Monthly. Monthly closes are, you know, they're quite long-term important. So happy to be here with you guys as always. Happy. I was actually planning to go to bed, but you know, if I go to bed too early, I will just wake up at 5 and not be able to sleep. So I'm getting that old, you know. I'm getting that old. Hopefully, people will come in compared to last time. Typically, you know, well, I've only been on for like a minute or so. Hello, Stack. How are we today? Or tonight's? Looks good, mate. Looks fantastic. This is your monthly silver. You know, lurking our way back into the wick from last month. That's good. Again, zooming out here, you can't really see it, right? On the daily, you can still see it. Again, we're still fighting that very bad week or two we had there. So, whoa, what is that? So, oh, I forgot the camera, the beautiful camera. Just what we should do? Should be here. Sure, why not? Again, what is most important in my view is still the gold to silver ratio, right? Look at that back test right there. This is how long time is that? That's wow, 35 years. So the whole retrace were actually just to get back into that one, and now we're gonna roll over, and the fun part is ahead of us. The fun part is ahead of us. Look. Boom. The biggest breakdown in history, at least in modern history, in the gold to silver ratio comes, you know, at roughly 42, 43. There were a big one, as you know, right around there. 78. That was a big one. We even called that. But if you ever break these lows here, you know, the trend line, right around, you know, 44, depending on when it happens, that's when people will be amazed of silver and gold and platinum, and the miners even more. So yeah, oil is also printing above the 67 now. Look at this one here. I think it's inevitable now, oil. I think we're gonna have one of I would say risk reward wise probably the best entry in decades coming up here for oil. So that is good. And you can see here, I want to show you the daily stuff. That is your oil chart right now. Bit of a back test here, some gap filling on the lower time frames, but we closed above. That's so good. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And what does this mean? Again, you can have a stop below 62, the right shoulder low. And look at this. Why do I think that this is probably the beginning of the biggest, one of the biggest bull market, you know, for oil in quite a while? It's because that little inverse head and shoulder takes us out from the 4 or 5 year down wedge here. It takes us out. And that begins the journey. Unfortunately, that's the case. I think short-term gold and silver is still fine, you know. It still looks good. Volatile, yes, right. As long as we are basically fighting. Where is it? This, wow, that candle there, right, happened Friday a month ago. You're still fighting, you know, some short-term push down, you can call it. So let's see here. But yeah, I still think the lows are in, to be fair. And I also want to show you gold, because I think gold is more important, at least charting wise. You can see here for gold, this is the roughly 5.1k, right? Very important level looking back like a month, roughly 1 month. We had a back test here. That was very tight. This is basically the entire week we've just been in here. Again, this is Monday, peaking above, just staying here for 1 week doing 0. And then this week here, or today, we broke that one there. So I think we're going to crawl our way back to 5,450. Why? Bit of a very short-term bull trap, right? Puke, snap back, game over. Short-term, that is. So yeah, that again, insanely good price action here for gold, and I think next week we will climb further back to potentially, you know, 5,400. And again, you can also do some measures here if you want to. We could take the lows there, but we're just going to be conservative. Right, look at that. So yeah, absolutely. Great price action. And again, I'm just going to advocate here Bollinger Bands. I think just gives such a good clarity if I can pick the right one. Look at this one here. And right now I'm on my fun stuff here so that you can see that it's not totally as we normally have it. I love to have like a shadow behind, just showing volatility, right? And look at the contraction here. Textbook triangle. Again, if this was a weekly, if this was 2 years, right, you would be all over it there. So, but anyway, very tight contraction above the important level. Right now, looks insanely good. You can see here as well, that's the 5.1k level. You can see the lows coming up, finally breaking, flipping support, squeezing up. So until we are disproven, gold looks amazing, therefore silver will do well. Platinum, palladium. that's good. Miner still doing, of course, look at that. We're sitting at all-time highs on this, on the SIL. So potentially a bit pullback here, potentially. If not, we're gonna rocket here for the next. If we break this top there without anything bearish, you know, we could do. I mean, what could we do here? We could do, and that will happen quickly, by the way. We could go from 120 to 180 by May. So that is sick. If we don't get any, you know, what's it called, profit taking here, and just clipping that high, we could go very quickly to, you know, 160, 180, timing wise. Again, late April. Good question. Silver or miners? Again, I have both. So, but you know, technically, let's do it like this way. Again, a lot of crap going on there. Sorry. I'm gonna do this. So. I'm still in the camp that they will, metals and miners will do somewhat the same until. Again, there might be a miner or two or three, you know, that will outperform. There will be like First Majestic, so on. But overall, the juniors, the big macro play, when it happens, in my view, is whenever we cross below like 2, roughly. We're now sitting at 2.3. So if we ever start to come down below these two here, you break this 10-year line, right? And that's, if you can stomach the volatility, miners will outperform silver while both goes up. So, yeah, exactly. Evening, Helle. Håper du har haft en god uge. Nice to see you. I'm just gonna take my sweater off. I'm sweating like a... And I lost my headset. Where is it? I lost my left earbud. Nice to hear, Helle. Very nice to hear. If you could find my left earplug for me, that would be great. There it is. Ah, there it is. Good. And we're back. So yeah, I think silver and the miners right now will do well. Probably doing 1-to-1 more or less until we break below that. So yeah, that's interesting. Again, look at this one here, GDX. Boom. May, 2 years ago roughly, April, May. Breakout backtest, not even looking back. I mean, come on. What I call that was, yeah, 250%. I would do it this way, Zach. I would, again, you can buy ETFs and all that on silver. And then find stocks, silver stocks, that is outperforming the metal. And the way you do this is you take the First Majestic, just as an example, yeah? And then you do this. So are First Majestic right now outperforming silver? Hell yes. Absolutely. What a... First Majestic is going to go to way above 100, yeah? Way above 100. Again, the ratio right now is at 0.33. And now we target 0.83, meaning we're going to do 150% more gains in First Majestic over silver. And I think silver will do well during that period. So, and yes, First Majestic will go triple digit. triple digit. Again, just my personal opinion, of course, but I have a high conviction. Look at this. Oh, bit of a fakey thing there, you know, 2021. But other than that, you know, should we do some measures here? I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna hit 100. Boom. So yeah, as you just saw on the ratio, individually, First Majestic is better than silver, so that is one. If you want to hand pick, you know, one or two. CDE, have I looked at that before? No. And that's not it. Current mining divided by silver. There we are. Let's go. Boom. So you can see here, for instance, and we're gonna swap to the CDE in just a moment, that we're still not broken out, meaning you might as well, again, if you, depending on time frames and all that, be in silver. Do I have a very firm belief that we're gonna, again, technically I'm gonna change that view, but the reason why I said it initially was these levels here will confirm the bottom, but I think this is the right shoulder being played out. So the downtrend is broken, and now we need to clear 0.44. It's a big level, to be fair. Look at that. Look at that, how insane that is. Right, so I think this is the right shoulder. That's the left shoulder. That's the head. Meaning, I think it has started, but once we break the neckline, you're gonna see Kerr Mining do 400% over silver. Yes, 400. There might be a, you know, somewhat of a bigger pause right around here, but you know. Oh, this one here as well is quite neat. Look at that. You can just see it. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Look at that. This is perfect. You can just see the importance of. Yes, we had the long-term downtrend break, backtest here. That's cool. But also here we have a 20-year 3-touch. If you break that, you clear the neckline, and it's just game on. So from that point on, you shouldn't be. What's it called? You shouldn't be considering doing silver over CDE, right? Because that will flip heavily if it haven't already flipped. You get the idea, right? Something like that. Beautiful backtest, right? Left shoulder, right shoulder, excuse me. So yeah, and CDE. Just look at the chart here on CDE. That's outstanding, really. Boom. We're long since 8, roughly. Now it's 26 and going higher. So yeah, absolutely. But remember, you will get a lot more volatility in the miners compared to metals. But overall, they should take, you know, more steps forward than silver. Momentum also breaking. Look at that momentum structure break. Same time. I mean, it's amazing. And again, if you're new or haven't heard it before, Brazil over the next half a decade to a decade. Man, what an opportunity. You're getting 4%. You can hold it for 5 years. Insane. That one we will happily give away. You don't have to do anything other than, you know, perfect buy would be like 30. Now we're sitting at almost 40. Is it the perfect buy? No, but in the grand scheme of things, who cares? You know, if you're looking at 5 years out. Heavy commodity related, oil, and all that good stuff. So GPD, okay, Trailbreaker. Is it too late to jump into? I knew it had a big pop like a month ago, maybe. It's a big falling wedge on the verge of a breakout, or maybe it has broken out. I haven't checked. Yes, indeed. Look at that. No, I think... No, I would... I just remember it differently. I don't know why. But anyway. Cheat code here. I love the cheat code. No, look at that. It's just beginning here. You're not late by any means. Small guy, remember, so only pennies and all that, you know, big speech, but don't throw everything into it. But no, you're not late by any means at all. I think it looks fantastic. And then depending if you want to take the highs there, could, again, maybe, but we can see here at least, again, drawn quickly and all that. I think we're turning here and we're going to hit like 1.7, depending you. So it depends on how you draw this one. But I would buy it here. If you have interest in it, by all means. I think it's going higher, absolutely. Absolutely. I know this is not a head and shoulder. Right, the angle is too high. It's not a head and shoulder. Not that it, you know, disregards, I think, a good view. I'm just wondering what music to hear, to be fair. Any suggestions, no? And again, feel free to ask questions like Zach is doing and so on. It's nice to have someone to talk to every once in a while. Let me check. You mentioned GPG. I'm just going to check it on a different screen because maybe, you know. Oh, it looks so good. I need to buy more. Let's do it. I think it. Let's do it. Let's take CBG. GPG. Look at this one here. One-liner, man. Come on. Bollinger Band monthly. There you are, hammering to the upside here, breaking 8. I mean, again, the perfect buy were like 0.38, you know, 38 cents or so. Sitting at 60 now. Are you late? Not in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Again, that was the entry, right? Small stock, 100 million. So do as you may. Resistances, clearly 0.72. So if you're not in here, maybe just wait for that to break. Right. It's sitting at 0.55 now. Yeah, maybe wait for that to break if you really want to do, you know. I think the weekly might look very good. You can see here coming up finally. Everything is reset. The trend has started. So back test as well on the weekly. I like it. I really do. I like that one. HydroGraph. Oh, that one had a big pop due to Trump or the US taking a stake, you know, into it. 10%, I think. HydroGraph. Is it OTC? I guess so. Okay. Wow. I even remember this one doing it on a live stream. I didn't buy it, but I remember one guy talking about it, and yeah, we talked about it. We even had that little wedge going into it all. Come on, man. Sick. Anyway. Check it on the RSXV. Maybe that's RSXV? Oh, TSX. Okay, fair enough. HydroGraph. Is there a TSX one? No? CSE? Ah, yeah, better. Yeah. Thank you. It's okay to laugh. I love when people laugh at me, to be fair. It's good to be able to... You can see here we had a bit of a rising wedge here breaking to the upside. So, target's difficult. And when did you buy it actually? You bought it at 1.5, amazing. 1.5, all the way up here, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Typically you get a lot of speed here, but it's also where it comes fragile. Right? That is good, of course. However, if you start to cross back down again, you typically go at least down to the lows of the rising wedge. So so maybe go down like to the 2 hourly and see if you can somehow find a stop loss maybe. Again, it depends on your time frame. Have you taken profits or anything? Or you're still no, okay. Iloro, yeah, I think we can do that. Iloro overall has been a little bit spazzy, you know, for the past 2 years. You know, trying to move and then not moving, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe start again. I would, if you're in from 1.5 again. Is it nice to sit with a full position when it just keeps going? Yeah, sure. But at some point in time, it might be a good idea to take like half off, because if this one again, this can easily get cut in half within a week, right? Easily. So difficult to, again, it's not my normal stuff here. But if you really start to rip here, getting into, let's say $10, going to 2-digit could be an idea to take something off. At least do your initial entry. That's my take, because then you don't really lose a whole lot, or your initial position. So yeah. And again, these stocks here, with they can continue to rip. Don't get me wrong, but that was a 60% move, right? And you can easily get that. Let's say here, you just go back, do that easily. But it looks good. Don't get me wrong. Iloro, I think, as I've been saying a few times, the hardest part is really to take profit, because you're getting so... You want to sit with the biggest size, of course, riding it up. So why should you take profit? But oh, this is the lower. Okay, cool. I thought of a different chart. Or did I? Oh, I remember this one like yesterday. Iloro here. Oh, that bull flag had my attention. Man, it had my attention. And then it broke down. Back test, and then it was a lot of pain. But anyway, we're inside the bull flag, so we can extend it just to show you here. Look at that. Beautiful. I would just hold it, mate, if you have it here. Again, overall, a bit of a funky chart, but we're back within the prior bull flag after a bit of a, for whatever reason, a bit of a detour. I'm still waiting for like a third high somewhere up here. I wouldn't change a whole lot. This is actually a good one to something that I talk about ever so often. You can see here we started to really puke somewhere around there, somewhere around in that neighborhood. I'm gonna just make it a little bit more see-through. Waterfall level is my way of phrasing it, where things go hammering down very quickly. And typically when you get back to that kind of starting point, you see what? You see a pause. So that's quite common. So yep, wheat is going bananas. Is that a banana ETF? I don't know. But yes, wheat is definitely going crushing it here. I don't have the entire chart here. Let's remove all that crap. Look at that candle, monthly. It's a bad thing, right? Because this is inflation coming back. You're looking at oil, soft commodities. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But the funny thing is, you know, the politicians are celebrating we have won against inflation. Just at the bottom. Look at that. This is your wheat chart. So again, food is expensive now. Give it like 2, 3, 4 years, and you would wish we had the prices we have today. So this is that falling wedge we have been waiting for a while on wheat, and now it's gonna grind its way slowly back and do like 100%. And if you look at it here, this looks a little bit like silver, right? This is the 50 level on silver. This is the lows at around 2015, 16, maybe a little bit earlier, but you get the idea. A bit horizontal resistance going on there, yes, but UPS, New York Stock Exchange. What is that? Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Again, I wouldn't buy it here, never. But not saying that it. Wow, it's a difficult one. Again, if we get a bull flag, of course, you buy, right? But right now, let it show its hand. So yes, it is interesting. Into some heavy resistance here. Just trying to see if I can frame somehow this move down here. I'm thinking initially I want to do that. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Perfect. Perfect. Breakdown, bear flag, tag, puke. Hit the lows from the COVID lows, actually. And now we're bouncing back. So with my very quick view here, I would say we need to get north of like, hopefully with a longer pause a little bit, but 130 maybe. Again, this is quickly done. Maybe 124, but 130 should seal the deal. Not saying that is, you know, you're gonna blast straight from here because you're still in a hard downtrend, but that is where things start to look a bit more green. So yes, interesting, yeah? Absolutely. How did the QQ close today? Oh, this one is also going to be so powerful. This is October 2025. Look here. And then you do that, right? Depending if, but for now at least we do this. So we have October, we have like almost half a year worth of sideways action at the highs, which can be extremely potent, but also very bad once we start to see which way it's going to go. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to listen to some Nephew. I think the Danish crowd knows that band. Which one? B-Pack. What is that? BP Silver? Oh, it had a some sort of a pop there. Yes, it looks really good. We don't have much data, but we can have a look at it here. It's fine. It's okay. I haven't seen it before. As you can see here, again, do you buy small stocks? So again, you do whatever, you know, but you basically want to wait for that was good. you want to wait for breakout. So just let it rest, and then you can go long again. But yeah, it looks good. Resistance at momentum. Small stock. So again, if I were long here, which I'm not, I wouldn't sell anything. I would just see how high it can go, really. Again, we don't really have much to go by, do we? I think that's probably the main thing. So we are into some sort of resistance here, and also momentum resistance. But very strong uptrend, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Silver is 6% today. Did we close above that high? Yeah, we did. That's good. Also here, this is like the 5,100 level on gold. This is the same level. Look at that. That's actually very good. We had a breakaway gap there, which got back tested. And this here was Wednesday. What happened Wednesday? We had options expiry right around there. We're gonna zoom in a bit more. Again, don't quote me on this, but I think the options expiry was here. Boom, there it was. And there were a glitch right at a very important, what's it called, end of that contract into the next one. You do your own thought about that, but it's funny how things, again, we haven't had any issues on the CME for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever. And in the past month or two, I can't remember, we had one like 2 months ago. We all of a sudden we have two. Again, that's just my my view. Very strange, very strange indeed. But yeah, we did close above. And I also saw a tweet. Do we have volume here? Where's my volume button? I'm just going to check here, because I think also it was somewhere around here where we basically were flatlining, making that there were a very high volume all of a sudden. I saw a tweet about that. Maybe we find that on the futures exchange. The futures, I'm gonna do that. Then we need volume. Yes, no. This is where we did the. Maybe it's that one there. I just saw a tweet about it, so. Devon, how is Devon doing? I still like it. That was where I bought it, 38. Long-term breakout. Again, if you didn't know, you could actually think this was oil, right? So that is also what oil is going to do now. It's going to break out, and we're going to have a multi-year bull market for oil as well. So I don't think it's a bull flag. I think you need more, but it's definitely pulling back a little bit here. Could it be, you know? Maybe. But for a bull flag, you need more spacing between the rallies, so you get some spacing. Right. That's how you do the count. That's how you do the count. You need some sort of spacing in order to do and find the waves, right? You need some spacing in between. What did copper do? I'm going to remove the volume, just noise, not noise, but closing at all-time highs. What? Really? Yes, really. That's still my target, you know, 7.5. 7.5. Look at this one here. Technically, quite beautiful. And you know what we think about this, that one there. If people do not know, we basically dumped. Look at that. Again, you can. This is, I think it's like an hour. We dropped 20% in copper. A lot of funky stuff happened that day. That's all I can. That's all I can say. So. Yeah, no worries, JPEG. No worries, mate. Anyway, I think it looks good here, copper. As long as we're basically above these lows here, which could be like head and shoulder. Again, we don't know. But, getting above 6.2 copper, and I think we're gonna rally more. Getting below 5.55 or thereabout, we could actually correct quite a bit. But right now it looks good, man. It's a good question. W.C. York, I think that's the correct way. No, I think you're correct. GDX is outperforming everything, basically, roughly speaking. It's by far the best sector to be in, looking at a long-term monthly candlestick view. By far. I mean, holy bananas. Let's see XOP here monthly. We're gonna check. Yeah, I still think we're gonna go to that spot there at least. Maybe back to parity, 1-to-1. But yeah, absolutely, we've been. It has been destroying XOP. And it just keeps going. Do we see a little bit, you know, where we get these kind of three? Yes, we do see that. That was the breakout, by the way. So could it be that we're gonna have a moment where, likely, I would say. I think it's likely. And that also coincides with us. We talked about oil, you know, breaking higher, you know, breaking out from that four-year pattern. Then XOP will do well. Or maybe we just get some sort of a, again, we're just guessing here, but if we get a both, you know, could be a handle. Could it be? Yeah, sure. thank you always. Amazing to get such a big shout out. Just trying to do my best, really. So that's all you can do, right? Try to become better at what you love to do, no matter what it is. Thank you. So yeah, thank you very much. Always. Platinum. Let's look at platinum here. Yeah. Again, we're gonna go to the monthly, and you can see basically it has gone up ever since. So no, I'm not, and I wouldn't recommend buying here, even though I think we're gonna go insanely higher over time. Again, at least I need some sort of reason to get in, and unless we get some sort of a longer pause, let's say we get a longer pause here. Again, these air gaps, if we start to come down again, let's say, or come down, you get an air gap, all of a sudden you have a bulk like that. Actually makes sense. So if we get something like that, then absolutely that would be, you know, a place to add if you want to. Absolutely. But right now there's no real formation for me to get in. You don't really exactly know what's gonna happen right here, right now. So I'm just a happy camper right now. But yes, 1050 in my book was the big moment on platinum. Multi-decade breakout, basically. So yeah. Oh, Silver Grail. Yeah, it looked so good. And now it doesn't, at least not the last time I checked. It's still... Hello. SVG, am I? Okay. This one here was one of our incorrect calls, for now at least, but it was incorrect. And the idea was, initially, I took position here at the break of that, what I think is a left shoulder head, right shoulder. And then we started to break out, which was, again, very interesting. We started to break out above this line here. And then we had, again, and that's the danger with with these small silver stocks here. You had a news here coming out, some sort of drilling result. I think it was being bad, and then you puked 60% at the open, basically, roughly. And now you're just trying to sit at the lows here. So you've lost all momentum. Maybe, right? Who knows? So that sucked. That sucked. Kalo gold. So right now it's just, again, could it be that it is going to resume? Yeah, sure, but we need to see a lot more. We don't really know. It got hit quite hard. That's a small guy, yeah, 822. First and foremost, I would just do that. It's no, again, have we broken the uptrend here? Yes, we have. But this one here seems to be the moment to really be interested in it here. I wouldn't try to play with it here, at least not for now, you know, trying to be clever or anything. I would just wait for it to show its hand, because you don't really, this is just some sort of slow fizzle. So I think 0.6, if you want to get into what the stock here is, probably the level to be looking for. Until then, maybe don't do a whole lot, depending on, you know, your personality. And as you saw on the SVG, you know, these small stocks, all of a sudden they take in $10 million, and then, you know, it's getting cut in half. That's the name of the game. Also a small stock here, 8 million. Ow. I think it's Fathom Nickel, right? Mike. I assume it is. I assume it is. Hi, Scott. Again, if you want to have a lottery ticket, again, I'm just looking at it very simplistic here. 5.5 cents, maybe 6 cents and above. You buy a little bit and then you see what happens. Again, yeah, that's the short answer, and sometimes that is, you know, the best. I just want to see those highs get taken out. Until then, you know. Yeah. Keeping it extremely simplistic. Again, don't sell your firstborn to and pile in. Keep it small. Very small. PLG. It's funny with the PLG. Yeah, we should look at it. It's actually one of those stocks, given how and strong the metals has been, you know, platinum, palladium. It's probably the worst performing of the stocks we're looking at, roughly speaking. The slow grind here is abysmal a little bit. That might be a big word, to be fair. So I have like 3 platinum stocks, I think, or 4. And to be fair, I wish I didn't, you know, I wish I could have used that capital into the other stock that has done way better. Like, let's find them here somewhere. Like ANGPY, for instance, right? Completely different outlook, just way more powerful. So I wish I've had that capital, for instance, example, and had more ANGPY. But anyway, back to PLG. And again, it could have been the other way around, so you don't really, yeah. I'm always, you know, mesmerized by these breakdowns once they really start to come down, you know, the big triangles. Again, remember, air gap, you need air gaps. And just game over, really. Wow. So it's slow, it's grindy, it's not really, it's a confused child right now. I have a position, it is what it is, still okay-ish, but am I overly excited right now? No. I'm not. And you can see here my target remains, and I would have thought we would have been there already, like $6-7 up there. I easily would have thought, hey, we will be up here or higher given the price of the metals. So okay, if again Crescat, I think Tavi Costa is no longer at Crescat Capital. But anyways, he's probably the guy who made the choice to buy that stock, Kalo. And I really like Tavi Costa. Sometimes you're just vibing with the people you're listening to, and then you just have a gut feeling that they are telling you what they believe in, and you know they have a good way of explaining it, and you feel it makes sense. So, and Tavi is one of them. He's really good, and he's also very bullish on Brazil, and rightfully so. I mean, it's so massive. This is a 5-year hold easily. in my view. I think we're gonna grind our way back at least 81 here, the big bull trap high. We're sitting at 40 now. It's gonna double, at least. Again, these are very big macro fractals, and typically they take you above all-time highs at some point in time. So yeah, Tavi is great. Tavi is great. CLF, I haven't heard from him in quite a while, but he made a new I don't know, company, I guess, so he's probably busy with that whole thing. Clifton Steel, this is the one, yeah, I guess. I love the air gaps. What happened here? News? Earnings? Okay. The level is very clear. Wow, that is actually very good. Just keeping it simple here. 4 years. If you want a part of this one here, I would say 15 and above for the next few months here, if it can do that. But you can see the rejections has been very hard. Both earnings, by the way. So it can't seem to escape that resistance. But 15, 16 and above, I'm quite happy with. Again, taking some like an entry there would be fine to me. Yeah, I can imagine. So he's doing a lot of promotion. So, and rightfully so. Again, I think he's very good. Horizontally, you can see this level here, very important, going back a decade or two. 12.5-ish is very important, and we're now below. So right now, nothing really good is coming out from this, right? I would wait to reclaim that horizontal level and start to trade above 15, 16 here. Then there might be something going on there. Not the biggest momentum play ever, but I think it's actually quite neat, to be fair. That is, yeah, I'm sticking to my gut. $15, $16, and you should have a decent uptrend for quite some time. ESEA, that is that's shipping, no? I think it is. Oh yes, it is. I remember. Oh, you're gonna do so well on that EN and CC. Wow, it's gonna again. I love that one. I have no issues at all with the EN CC dividends. The chart is amazing. Just about to break the neckline. If we haven't done it this week, I haven't checked, but yeah, ESEA looks good. Big downtrend break. Vibes of a head and shoulder pattern, back test, bull flag breakout. Yes, hold it. It looks good. Yeah, that was my way of doing a 10 second 10 second analysis. Again, I'm on a different template, so I don't have everything on here. But yeah, basically, that's your neckline. Beautiful, beautiful. That's the big puke. And now you can see here we're, again, you're breaking out. Breaking out no matter how you draw this, to be fair. This is 3 years. So no matter how you do this, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Into some resistance here now, absolutely, you know. Short term and all that good jazz. You can see these highs here, but could we backtest? Yes. Would that still be fine? Yes. Right. So again, if you can buy down back to the backtest at around 11.5, you pick something up there with the expectations of breaking, and then, you know, but long term this looks really fantastic. 12% dividend also. Adjusted for dividend, you can see here basically at all-time highs. So even though the chart might, you know, not go up as much, every time you pay out dividend, it's getting pulled back, right? So you basically have to outperform 12% per year in order for this to go up. So that's a lot of pulling back, but again, you're getting paid that dividend anyway. So, but yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. I really do love it. It's amazing. Big words for a Dane. Yeah, look at that beautiful monster. Not perfectly drawn here, but who cares? It's good. Yeah, I'm also thinking about, cutting it off here. Just to have a bit of a quick chat and just to enjoy the monthly candles on the miners right now. At least the silver and gold miners closing at the highs. Are we coming to? No, not. URA. Ooh, okay, this is again something I haven't seen before. Monthly URA. It might be the reason, again, it's a blank canvas. But if we are to do like monthly closes here, 55 seems important, right? And we're closing just below. Okay. Are we going to break that? I think so. I think so, indeed. What did you do today? 6% down. Really? You piece of... Oh, that's fine. The perfect cup and handle on you. Perfect. Yeah, they had earnings yesterday and they are coming. Are they surprised? I mean, they went above expectation, I guess. So yeah, unless we get below like 19, I'm very pleased with this stock here. Very pleased. And if we start to resume here, that means in my book that we're gonna see the triangle high getting hit. It's not triangle high, maybe not, but at least the highs up there is getting hit swiftly. Last one here for you, Matthew, and then we'll call it a day. Thank you always. Yeah, have a sleep tight. I know I will in like 15 minutes. SCD. It's nice to be able to get like 30 people on a Friday evening. Friday night, to be fair, in Europe at least. So the time in the US, depending on where you are, is like 6 p.m., right? So dinner time. Just gonna You've heard this before. It's a small stock. And we're trying to... It's a very small stock here again. We've already had a good run, so... we're already up 1,000%. But if we start to trade above here, if we can do it, that's of course always good. But I don't really... I would love to have, again, a reason to get in. I would love this to be, because then you're getting better risk reward, right? Because then you know exactly where to place your stop. Or at least you have a better guide. So hopefully, if this is the air pocket, if that's the high, you come down, and then you start to form the bull flag, and then you can go long, you can have a stop loss. So resistance right now, for sure. Have we broken some sort of funky? I don't really know. No, it's still technically very good. So that is your stop, I think, in the short term here. anything below that blue line, which right now is 22, 21, 22. Yeah, as long as that one is holding, you will be breaking into all-time highs and keep rallying. So yeah, sure, mate. Talk to you later, Mike. Have an amazing day. I will leave you here and sleep. Sleep is good. So thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. And let's see what the next week is, brings up. Now that we have silver miners and gold miners, ETFs closing at all-time highs. Boom, 118. Again, just a side note here. Heiken Nashi candles, green for 2 years. Outstanding. No noise. This is just basically filtering out noise between two candlesticks. Anyways, have an amazing day, lads. Cheers.